Alright, welcome back to the Wizard Den. Today, we're going to be speaking on, what if your significant other, your friend, your best friend, your family, all these people, what if they don't believe magic is real? What do you do? I encountered this yesterday, so I'll tell you how I handled it. You feel the need to convince them, especially in the beginning, when you're first beginning in their cult, you feel like everybody should know this thing that you know, because of the amount of freedom it gave you. But, how I took it yesterday is, I told them, somebody contacted me and they said, I don't believe in magic at all. And this is somebody that was believing in magic, and it was a good friend of mine, but now decided to not be my friend anymore because I guess magic was the only thing keeping us as friends. So it's kind of hurtful that he, decided to do that. And he said all the spirits are a lie and everything. So, and of course, he was, also as well saying that everything I do is a lie. And, it was very hurtful. So my response was along the lines of, I can tell you this, for a fact. Spirits are real. Magic is real. And, typically when people give up on magic, it's because they didn't put the work in. If you don't come into the game with psychic abilities, you're coming with a disadvantage, and it's going to take a lot of work. I don't sell lies over here. I tell everybody the truth. I tell the truth. If you don't come into this game with psychic abilities, you're going to have to learn them. You're going to have to gain them, and it's not an easy path, And I've said that I don't know how many times. I've told everybody it takes hard work, dedication, willpower, and if you don't have those things, it's going to be very difficult, and I think this is the same guy that's asked me to do rituals for him, and he doesn't feel as if he can do them himself, and he doesn't put in the work. And if you're not putting in the work, guys, you're not going to get the results. You're not. Okay? You have to be able to break that wall. Anybody can be an armchair magician. Anybody can sit there and study all day long. It takes a different kind of person to hit failure, hit that wall of defeat, and keep going. It takes a different kind of person. It takes the kind of person that really wants this to break through and keep pushing. You have to be able to not give up no matter what. I was at a point where I wanted to give up at one point in time. It took 2 years to get a successful evocation. I've said this a million times. So even though I'm successful today, it wasn't always that way. I used to be an unsuccessful magician. I was an armchair magician. So I understand where he comes from. You know what I mean? But you have to push through. But for these people, what do you do? The truth is, you can't force them to believe anything. You can't force them to think a certain way, to believe in something. And it's bad to do that, honestly. It's bad. You don't want to force your beliefs on somebody. You want to allow them the opportunity to come to that conclusion on their own. And if they come to you for advice, of course, give it, But until then, I think you're wasting your time trying, you know what I mean? Because if they don't believe in it, and if they don't want to put the work in, you're wasting your energy, you're wasting your breath, For these people that don't believe, just understand that the occult is the occult for a reason. It's not for everybody. You know, not everybody is supposed to be an occultist. The people that are supposed to find the knowledge. The people that are supposed to are here, are putting in the work, are communicating with the spirits daily. The people that are supposed to be in the cult are in the occult, okay? Or trying to be, at whatever cost. You know, they're not giving up. They're putting in the work. So, like, for example, my mother laughs at it. She thinks it's a joke. She's like, you know, you weren't psychic growing up. And she keeps going back to that. You know, which I wasn't. So she keeps going back to that. And, you know, she thinks that it's either one way or the highway. And, you know, you can't develop things. But it's not the case. You can develop psychic abilities. But it's not for me to convince her that I am something. That would be my ego. And I don't need to convince her that I have psychic abilities. I don't have to convince her that I do this work. All I did was be honest with her, tell her that I do this stuff. And, you know, if she wants to believe or not believe, that's on her. You know, one of my sisters, she believes in it. The other sister does not. She just said it bold-faced. I don't believe in that stuff. Okay, cool. You know, that was my answer. Cool. You know, your belief doesn't affect my reality. Your belief and non-belief doesn't affect the legitimacy of what I do. It's going to work regardless. The spirits will come to me when I call them regardless. Your belief in it does not affect my reality or any reality. You know, and that goes for anybody. You know, even if it's your best friend, you would be wasting your time to try and convince them. Now, if they come to you and say that they're struggling, you know, and they're having doubts because it's just not working for them, that's a different approach and you should help them out. But if they're just bold-faced telling you, basically they have no interest and no care in the world, then to that, you know, just don't waste your energy. I know it feels like in the beginning that you want to get everybody on this, you know, this truth that you found, this power. You want to give everybody that, especially the people you care about. You want to fill them in with things that you found, but it's a waste to try and convince these people. So that's all I'm going to say for today. I ran into this last night, and I felt like it might be a good little conversation piece. You know, it is not your battle. It is their battle. It is not your fight. It is theirs. You know, this is for them. And if the occult is for them, they will come around to it. And if the occult is not for them, then so be it. It is not for them. The occult is not for everybody. Some people are just going to be Christians their whole life, and that's it. But alright, peace.